Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping in on yet another video. As you can tell, we are kicked back in a recliner. We have our laptop in front of us, letterboxed open. I'm going to tell you what my favorite films this year so far have been. This is my list, so it's gonna probably look way different than yours, and that's fine. I just have to preface that because I know that this list will probably upset some people, and I don't know why, because I'm just someone that likes to watch movies. I have no say in anything. But this is my list. It's gonna obviously look different than yours. Like I said, our lists are not gonna be the same. If they are the same, crazy coincidence. I'm gonna start, I guess, bottom up, because although this is like kind of not, I mean, it is in order, but like I change it quite a bit. If you guys follow me on Letterboxd, you probably see like, oh, she updated her top films of 2025. Let me take a look. So at number 20, I have The Monkey by Osgood Perkins, starring Theo James, Tatiana Maslany. I liked this movie. It was good. It was fun, but I just really haven't thought about it since I saw it. And when I put together like lists, I tend to think about, okay, what movies did I like? Have I thought about them since seeing them? What kind of impact did they have on me? Have I been chatting with other people about them? And The Monkey just isn't really one that I bring up often. I think it is a really funny movie, and I think Theo James is really amazing in it. But I just don't really find myself wanting to rewatch it very often, which to each their own. I think I gave it like a 3.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. I do right here, 3.5 out of 5. So if ranking stars means anything to you, that's what I gave it. Next up is a film that I caught on a screener, so thank you for that. This is called The Severed Son by Dean Puckett, I think is his name. Really cool guy. I follow him on Instagram. He posts like some of the coolest stuff ever. And it's really exciting, I think, to see like when you find a new filmmaker and you find them on social media and they're active and they're like just nonstop posting about their film, which shows me that they really love the stuff that they put out. Severed Son takes place in a church community, and it reminds me a little bit of Robert Eggers' The Witch. So if you are into like that kind of time period kind of films like The Witch, definitely check it out. It's a horror film. It has it's like a folk horror film, I'd say, and it has a monster in it, and the monster design in this movie is like crazily impressive. Really gross looking, but also kind of like intriguing in a way. I really loved it. It stars Emma Mapleton. She plays Magpie in this film, and her life kind of like begins to spiral a little bit as she's accused of like doing some like really messed up stuff to like her local village, and I loved it. I did a full review on it that I can link below if you guys are interested in it, but definitely check it out if you have the option. I think it's on Amazon right now. Amazon, I think you can rent it. Yeah, Severed Son, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I definitely want to rewatch this. If they put it out on physical, I definitely want to buy it because I think it's an amazing looking film. The cinematography is great, so check it out. Next up is Steven Soderbergh's Presence. I saw this film. This is the first film I ever saw at Toronto Film Festival, and so I feel like it holds a special place in my heart for that reason. But I loved this movie. I thought it was really cool. It is a ghost story, but has a very interesting twist. I love the way that it is shot. It's like like you are the ghost haunting this house. You feel like an extra layer of immersion because the way that it is shot is so interesting and awesome. I loved it. I did a full review on it as well. If you want to check it out, I can link that as well. My favorite performance from this film is Chris Sullivan as the dad. It's this family that moves into a haunted house. Well, they don't know it's haunted yet, but there's a presence in the house, and his performance is just a tearjerker, honestly. Like, I felt for him in this movie and his family in this movie. It does kind of lose itself a little bit at the end, I think, but it's definitely worth checking out. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I've seen it, I think, 2 times now. I saw it at TIFF, and then I saw it, when else did I see it? Maybe I only saw it once. I don't know, I probably saw it in a theater, but I love it. Check it out if you can. Next up is The Ugly Stepsister by Emily Christine Blichfeld. Blichfeld? You guys know I suck at names. I really do. Um, but it is a really cool take on Cinderella that I'm gonna say it. I like these kind of adaptations of classic princess stories because I feel like they are a little bit more on the accurate side of how they were originally written. It has some really nasty moments, like just totally gross, gory, like if it's hard for you to watch like toes or fingers getting fucked with, do not watch it because it was hard for me to watch. But I mean, you could always close your eyes during it, I guess. I really enjoyed this one. The cinematography, the costume design, just tens across the board. I would have enjoyed it if it was a little bit shorter and the pacing was a little bit better. Again, check it out if you want to. If not, it's fine. But I really enjoyed it. It's totally unhinged, wild, and if you were into princess films as a kid, like me, check this one out. Next up is a film called Sweetness, and it is directed by Emma Higgins. I actually got a screener for this, which I'm really excited, which I was really grateful for because I read the premise of this film and I was like, oh yeah, this is like, feels like Misery, but like an updated whatever gen we're on now, um, type of film. So I was excited. It's about a 16-year-old girl named Riley that's played by Kate Hallett from Women Talking, which she is great in Women Talking and she's amazing in this as well. A 16-year-old girl gets to meet like the rock star of her dreams, like the person that she is obsessed with, and it goes exactly how you think it would, but like times 100. It is one of those movies that you kind of have to like suspend your disbelief for a little bit, but if you can do that, I think you'll really enjoy it. The rock star she's obsessed with is a total shitbag, but like by the end of the movie, you're like, who's the bad guy in this anymore, you know? So without spoilers, because it hasn't released yet, I don't think, but when it does, definitely check it out. Sweetness absolutely rules. So that was the first 5. We're going into number 15 now. Number 15 for me was Final Destination Bloodlines. I am fairly new to this franchise. Like, I literally just watched all of the movies this year, and I've seen it twice, and I really enjoyed this one. My only gripe with this movie is I wasn't very convinced by the lead actress. Like, everyone else in the film is like serviceable and does a great job, but I could not connect with her, and I don't know if it was like just how the character was written or even how the actress portrayed her, but I was just like not really into her character like at all. But I think that this is probably one of the stronger installations into the Final Destination franchise, even though I just got into it, so definitely don't listen to me. And it has a really, really, really beautiful send-off for Tony Todd, and I think it was released after the movie came out, but the director said that like he improv that, like he said like there wasn't anything written like on paper, like Tony Todd came up with this on his own, and for his send-off for his character, he knew he was sick, which just like makes it even more like of a tearjerker. It's got some really great kills as well. The beginning of the film had me like holding on to like the arms of my chair. I gave it a 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. Yeah, it was good. Next up is a film that didn't release in theaters at all. I think it went straight to streaming, which is wild because it has Wyatt Russell in it. It's a film called Broke. It's about a Bronco rider. Wyatt Russell plays a Bronco rider named True Brandywine, which is like the perfect like Southern boy name. And this movie has some of the best cinematography like I've seen all year, and it sucks that I had to watch it on like just my computer. Like, I want to be able to see it in a theater, but this probably is my favorite performance by Wyatt Russell. He's definitely giving his father in The Thing. He has a beard, he's like haggard, especially near the end. And I think that the film is beautiful. It really shows, um, what people put themselves through to like live their dream, even when they probably should listen to like their body and their health. But I loved it, and you should definitely check it out. It is streaming on Amazon. Next up is Bring Them Down by Christopher Andrews. It stars Barry Keoghan and Christopher Abbott. I know I might get a little crap for this, but I'm not like the biggest Barry Keoghan fan. I watched this movie for Christopher Abbott. I love Christopher Abbott, but I'm not the biggest Barry Keoghan fan, so I it was kind of hard to get into like his scenes in this film, but it's basically a family rivalry between these two families, and it gets increasingly more and more dangerous and fucked up as it goes on. And Christopher Abbott's character, I got my eye on you. The entire time I'm like, I got my eye on you. There's something about you. I watched this on Mubi, so if you have Mubi, it's on there. If not, I don't know where else it's streaming. Sorry. Next up is The Assessment. I love this movie, and which is strange because I saw it at TIFF and I really wasn't sure how I felt about it. I think it was just because it was probably like my 17th movie of the festival and I was exhausted. So I gave it another chance before I reviewed it. I reviewed it for In Session Film. I liked it more the second time. I still do have issues with it. I think that there's a more interesting story to be told in the side story, actually, of this film. But it stars Elizabeth Olsen, Alicia Vikander. They it's about a couple that wants to have a baby. The husband is Hamish Patel, and they want to have a child, but this is in like a near future where like resources are very scarce. So parents have to go through an assessment. I think it's 6-7 day assessment. And the assessor is Alicia Vikander. And this is my favorite role, like hands down of hers. I know people are going to say Ex Machina. She's totally just in her element here. Like she goes from this being like this very cold assessor to a literal child in like the span of days. Like the way she's acting, it's like a complete 180, and it is interesting to see the dynamic between her and Elizabeth Olsen. Like I was locked in their scenes. The movie has a very distinct like style to it, like the clothes that they wear, the houses, and that's where the film really excels for me. It really gets across that this is the near future. It shows that this couple is like very well off, they're very smart. Elizabeth Olsen's character is trying to like reclaim things from the past that seem kind of archaic now, like gardening. Their house is like in the middle of this like barren desert, and her husband is like a tech guy, and I enjoy this movie quite a bit. I know that some people are like on the fence about it, but I think it's worth checking out for Alicia Vikander's performance alone. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I teeter between that and like a 4. Like I said, stars really don't matter to me all that much, like a star rating. It's just more so like what I thought about it. That really is what it is. Number 11 is William Tell, directed by Nick Ham. Again, another film I saw at TIFF. This movie is like Kingdom of Heaven mixed with like Lord of the Rings type of cinematography. It is exactly what I look for. Like this is like my kind of movie to like a T. Like a period piece, sword and board action, a real hero's journey of a story. It's about William Tell obviously shooting an apple off of his son's head, but the progression of getting from that scene where he shoots an apple off of his son's head to the beginning of the film is an amazing journey, definitely worth checking out. The costuming in this film is stunning. Like what you've seen in like stuff like Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon like pales in comparison to some of the dresses that were in this film. So I can't recommend this enough. It also has the guy that played the prince in the new Little Mermaid movie, Jonah Hauer King, I think is how you say it. He was really good in this. It does have a lot of familiar faces, so you're gonna see people in this movie and be like, "Oh, what's this person from?" So I think it's worth a watch. I thought it was beautiful, great cinematography, great acting, and I hope that it spawns more films in this kind of vein, but it didn't do very well, so I don't think it probably will. Give it a 4 out of 5 if you care. All right, we're getting into the top 10 now, and I kind of want to like not speed through these, but I want to pick up the pace a little bit. 10 is 28 Years Later by Danny Boyle. I loved this movie. I know that a lot of people kind of have issues with the ending, but I think that if they can really nail, and again, I don't want to spoil this because this movie like just came out. If they can really nail what they're going for in the people that were introduced at the end of the film, I think that I'm gonna love the continuation even more. I found this movie really beautiful, especially with Alfie Williams, who plays the young boy in this. His performance in this is like what they say, like, oh yeah, that guy was born to be an actor. Jodie Comer's amazing as well. Aaron Taylor Johnson, one of my favorite roles of his so far, which is crazy because I thought he was really good in Nosferatu last year. I I love this franchise. Recently rewatched all of the movies. I'd probably say that 28 Days is my favorite. Then it goes to Years and then Weeks. Danny Boyle is he's on his batshit stuff in this movie, and I think it pays off. The script is probably what I have the most problems with, but I think the performances push through whatever issues I have with the writing. So if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I loved it. Next up is Jane Austen Wrecked My Life. I love this film. It's by Laura Piani, and it's basically just a love letter to Jane Austen and her work, which has shaped like so many young women for generations upon generations. And I think it is beautiful. It is so funny. It's so welcoming. It's cozy. It's about an author who is just trying to find her place in life. She's single. She wants romance, doesn't really know where to find it. She thinks her writing sucks. And so she goes on a retreat that she got signed up for to the Jane Austen estate. And from there, it is literally like a Jane Austen novel come to life. The lead actress in this, Camille Rutherford, she is like the epitome of what a leading lady in a Jane Austen film is. She's beautiful, but she's like very commonly looking beautiful, like a beautiful woman that you'd see in a grocery store. She doesn't look like a model. She's got bags under her eyes. Her hair is a mess sometimes, and it's easy to see yourself in this film if you're a woman that struggles with like any kind of like self-confidence or anything, or if you're just a little bit awkward. I love this movie. Definitely check it out. I think it definitely subverts what people are going to think is going to happen at the end, but check it out. Next up is The Life of Chuck by Mike Flanagan. I saw this movie again at TIFF, and I've seen it twice now. I saw it at the world premiere, and both times I've seen this, cried my eyes out. I think the boy that plays the preteen Chuck, Benjamin Pajak, I think is what his name is. Sorry, there's so many people in this cast. I'm trying to like look at it on Letterboxd, but it's just like all over the place. His scenes especially is based on a short story by Stephen King, and it's basically about a man that's just like recounting like the best moments or most formative moments of his life, and it got me. Like, I'm someone that really struggles with like the finality of death, what happens to us after death, what happens to our memories, especially when we die. And I think this film really captures that well. And Tom Hiddleston is great in this. He has a great dance scene. But yeah, I love this film. I'm really excited to own it when it comes out. Thanks, Chuck. Next up is Thunderbolts, which If you would have asked me last year if I thought Thunderbolts would be this high up on films that I've seen in 2025, I would have told you that you're a little bit wacky because I was not really looking forward to this at all. But I was so blown away by Marvel actually taking mental health somewhat serious. Although it is kind of surface level, obviously. I mean, these are films that are made for like a younger audience. I think that it is a breath of fresh air of how Marvel has treated mental illness in the past, especially like with Thor's character. Right, Florence Pugh is absolutely the star of this movie. I mean, she is billed as like the somewhat lead, but it is an ensemble, so everyone has like really great screen time. Florence Pugh does an amazing job. Sebastian Stan is great. One character that I thought was that did a really good job that I necessarily didn't really like him in previous stuff is David Harbour as the Red Guardian. He was really good in this. Him and Yelena have a really touching moment that definitely almost got a tear out of me. But yeah, I'm excited to see where Marvel goes from here because I did enjoy Daredevil Born Again. Probably more than most people. Haven't checked out Ironheart yet. I do plan on checking that out hopefully next weekend or the weekend after. But yeah, Lewis Pullman in this, he's charming, he's great. Really great addition to Marvel, I think, with his character Sentry. The entire ensemble is really great in this film, and I've seen it twice. I saw it at a press screening and then with my boyfriend, and he was even really surprised by it. And we were both kind of like, we're not really into comic book movies as much as we used to be, but I think this kind of revived our thoughts on comic book movies and got us a little bit more excited for what's to come. Next up is Bob Trevino Likes It by Tracy Lehman. And I might be a little biased because I got to interview Tracy and she was really lovely. We had a really great conversation and I can link it below. But this film is all about found family. It stars Barbie Ferreira and John Leguizamo. And it is so touching. Like basically once the film gets like past the halfway point, you're just gonna cry the whole rest of the movie. It's about a young girl who feels like an outcast to her family, her friends, doesn't really know what direction she's going in life, and posts online, gets no likes, no real interaction, no engagement. So she's like really just alone. The only people that are in her life are kind of like forced to be there. So she's really just looking for a connection, and it's based on events from Tracy Lehman's life, and I think it's a beautiful story. Barbie does a really, really great job. I think that this film is really gonna like catapult her into a lot more serious roles. And John Leguizamo, this is probably my favorite performance from him. It's very touching, it's relatable, it really is basically a perfect movie, I think. Check it out. I think that it is streaming for rent, and it is like broadening out with its theaters. I do think it already had its big run though, so definitely check it out on streaming if you have a chance. I loved it. Okay, now we're gonna get into the top 5. And this has like been kind of like my staple top 5 for like a majority of the year. I kind of swap them around here and there. But number 5 is Black Bag by Steven Soderbergh. I'm not really big into like James Bondy, secret agent kind of movies, but this has gotten me in the mood to watch a lot more spy thrillers. Kate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender, Tom Burke, Marissa Abella, I think it is, and Reggie Jean Page, Pierce Brosnan. It's got a great cast. It has an amazing cast. I was blown away by it. I loved whatever camera, whatever film they used. It had like this really warm haziness to the lights. There's 2 dinner scenes in this film and they're just amazing. The first one, I think is a little bit pales in comparison to the second one, only because, the events of the film, so check it out if you want. Black Bag absolutely rocks. Steven Soderbergh, you are the man. Next up is Friendship by Andrew DeYoung. I love this film. I can't tell you, I was laughing from like the moment it starts to like literally the second it ends. I could watch this movie probably 10 times and not get sick of it. I am not super well versed in Tim Robinson stuff, but his kind of humor in this movie is like right up my alley. I love the tagline is like men shouldn't have friends, and I think that that's perfect for this film in the context of the film. It's like me when I show a little bit too much of my personality type film. So it has Paul Rudd, Kate Mara. They all do amazing work. Tim Robinson is hilarious in this. Number 3 is The Shrouds by David Cronenberg. This film impacted me so deeply that like I think about it every single day basically since I've seen it, and I saw it around the beginning of the year, I think. Um it is so interesting how like grief has evolved through time, especially with all the technology we have, like AI especially. You can literally just like animate a picture of your dead loved one and it's like they're back to life. So freaky. Don't do that. But this film is really interesting. It's very, I think it's like deeply romantic at its heart. It's about a man who lost his wife and he's just totally consumed by his grief and creates this new controversial technology. Sorry, I just saw controversial in the letterboxed description, but it is a technology that it seems very taboo even in the film. And it is this film is beautiful. I was really moved by it. It feels very personal, like a very personal film from David Cronenberg. Um, and I am really excited to own this one and rewatch it because I was losing it during the film. I was pretty upset, crying, because again, like I said, death is like something that is like, I feel like everyone probably has a really big problem, getting over death or grief, and this one is just like another way to show that like if you let your grief consume you, what happens? How far are you willing to go? Or how dark are you willing to go is the tagline. And this one gets pretty dark, so definitely check it out if you are a Cronenberg fan. I think that this one will stay definitely in my top 5, or at least my top 10 for the rest of the year. Number 2 is Mickey 17. I love this one. I know a lot of people were like, it was expecting more from, the follow-up to Parasite, but I thought this one was great. Robert Pattinson, Naomi Ackie, they are so relationship goals in this film. I thought it was funny. I thought it was relatable, especially if you have a job that fucking sucks and they would replace you literally tomorrow if you died today. I think it was really interesting, the conversations that I was seeing online about this film, even if I don't necessarily agree. I always love films that release that have like they aren't just outwardly loved right away. And yeah, I think this film is going to age pretty well. Sorry, my cat wants to come up here. Hey, Ellen. I think it's one of my favorite Pattinson roles, which you guys know I'm a huge Robert Pattinson fan. There's no denying I'm a huge Robert Pattinson fan. Mark Ruffalo plays basically, I'm assuming it's like a Donald Trump, Elon Musk kind of character. He is a little bit over the top at times, but I think that is the point. He's supposed to be over the top. Toni Collette is his wife in this movie, and her obsession with sauce is so hilarious, but I think it is, you can interpret it any way you want, but like sauce is like seen as like a luxury, like when you're ordering food or something. So, do I want to pay an extra 50 cents for another chicken nugget dipping sauce? Whatever, I'll get it. So in this film, like sauce is like a really important part of her character, which is an interesting choice. I don't know if I completely understand it yet, but I loved this film. Bong Joon-ho is one of the best filmmakers of all time. Parasite literally was just named the best film of the 21st century from New York Times. So say what you will, but I think this movie is definitely going to age fairly well, especially given the climate that we're in now. There's no denying that my favorite kind of films are ones that uh, are just the director just going absolutely balls to the wall. That is exactly what Ryan Coogler is doing with Sinners. It is one of the most ambitious one of the most ambitious vampire films I think I've ever seen, because I feel like being like the vampires play like being a vampire is like a very small part of this film, and it is so culturally enriched. The performances are great, and it feels like a love letter to all types of films that Ryan Coogler says are his inspirations. I know that he's a big anime fan too, um, but this film is beautiful. If you want to check out my full review, I'll link it below, like the others. But yeah, this film is my favorite film of the year. That scene where Sammy is playing for the first time, and the aspect ratio changes, and the I don't want to spoil it, but that's when the film, for me, goes from like a 4 to a complete 5 perfect film. I was just blown away. Totally blown away. The cinematography is incredible as well. There's really not a moment of the film where I find myself bored. Any problems I had with the script the first time I watched it, the second time I was like, oh, okay, now I know kind of where the story I know where the story has went. So a lot of the problems I had, even being a little confused on where things were going in the first time I watched it, the second time they were completely gone. Yeah, Jack O'Connell as a vampire in this was really great. I think that weaving in Irish culture as well as Black culture was really a great choice here. Delroy Lindo, I think, is my favorite performance in this film after seeing it a few times, and I really hope that he gets recognition this award season. I hope that the hype of this movie continues on for the rest of the year through all. And not that I'm like a huge awards person. I do watch award shows, but I don't necessarily think they determine whether a movie is good or bad. But I think Delroy Lindo, he deserves every award for his performance in this film. There's a scene where he's in a car with Miles Kenton and Michael B. Jordan, and he's talking about growing up, and the use of sound in that scene, along with his performance, just totally knock you away. Really great stuff. All right, you guys, those are my top 20 films so far of the year. Again, there are a lot of films that I've missed so far, that I need to catch up on, and I will probably around the end of the year catch up on a lot of these, like films like Materialists and what is it? The new Mission Impossible came out and I missed that, and Warfare, I haven't checked that one out. I know a lot of people love that one. I'm really looking forward to checking this back out at the end of the year and seeing where things have shuffled and what stuff I've added. You guys can let me know in the comments what some of your favorite films of the year so far are and what you're looking forward to. I am so Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein pilled right now. It is crazy. It's literally all I think about when I want to go watch a movie. I'm like, oh man, I wish I was watching Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. I really hope that gets a IMAX release like Guillermo was talking about on I think it was Blue Sky or something. I don't remember. But yeah, let me know what you guys are looking forward to for the rest of the year. Let me know what your favorites are, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.